lock that up, the faster it's going to run down the straightaway. So I wouldn't even worry about that. I don't even know if I'd even told him about it.
Well, you know what? What are you going to do about it? You can't pit.
Now, most of what you see in black on the front of that car is not grill opening. The grill opening is a narrow slit within the grill area, and it has hardware cloth or mesh right in it. So pretty narrow is the amount of actual opening to the radiator there. And from what I can see, that bare bond is not covering it very much. So let's set the field for you as they come around to 2 laps to go. Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to win the Daytona 500 yet again. Brad Keselowski for Roger Penske, trying to give the captain his 2nd victory. And remember, it was Dale Jr. who gave Keselowski his big break to drive Junior's car in the Nationwide Series. Now right behind them, Jeff Gordon, the 24. Kyle Busch in the 18, coming from 1 lap down. Carl Edwards and Denny Hamlin, Jimmy Johnson and Ricky Stenhouse, Matt Kenseth and Kevin Harvick are the top 10.
And wins this year count more than ever. You win it, you might be in the chase. It might be the win you need, and it's a chance to get one right here.
Kelly Earnhardt Miller, Dale Jr.'s sister, looking on, and here we go. Green flag, 2 laps.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. gets to that restart box, and he is gone.
Yeah, that car is, I mean, it takes off. Now, he definitely doesn't want to get too far out. We know that's not good, and he is making a pretty good gap here.
Here comes the 2. Brad Keselowski on the outside. Got a little bit of help from behind. Gaining on the leader. Junior comes up to cover. Jeff Gordon now leading the inside row. Unless Keselowski or Busch or Denny Hamlin in the 11 drops down, it's Hamlin.
What a move by Hamlin.
Woo-hoo. Now, if we get back to the white flag, we have a race. Look at Stenhouse in that 17 in the middle, back and forth. And
boy, he just shoved Kyle Busch right out of the way. Ricky Stenhouse in that 17 to 3rd place.
White flag with Stenhouse up in position to challenge in that blue Ford.
You know what, Larry? I believe that tape's going to stay on there, and that baby's going to come home a winner.
Denny Hamlin has not lost a race this week. He's number 11. Keselowski, the 2012 champ, battling back to the top. And Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Pied Piper of Daytona, trying to hold them all at bay.
And Kyle Busch was trying to make a 3rd line at the top of the racetrack.
Boy, here they come. Now, this is where it gets interesting. We've seen a lot of passes off turn 4 to the start-finish line, but that 88 is pulling away.
Less than a mile to go.
Oh, we got a wreck.
3rd generation star, Dale Earnhardt Jr. brings him to the flag. Checkered flag waving. It's over. It's Earnhardt.
Good job, Junebug. Woo!
Reed Sorensen's race ends up in a crash. Harvick into the wall past the end of pit road, and Carl Edwards 99 all torn up. Here comes Kyle Busch backwards across the start-finish line.
Backed her across.
Now, the caution flag waved before Earnhardt took the checkered flag. Officially, the race ends under yellow. NASCAR will review
I cannot believe it. Unbelievable.
They'll review all photographic and video evidence. It'll be a while before we have an order of finish. Reed Sorensen is okay. Carl Edwards moving around in his car. The Pied Piper leads them around for the final lap.
And how can you take some bad luck? Get something on your grill with 3 laps to go. A piece of tape. You couldn't come down pit road and put a piece of tape on there and do any better.
The black number 3 returned to Daytona this week. Where'd that big piece of black tape come from?
Good place I got here. I can't believe this. This is better than the first one.
Remember, in the offseason, his crew chief Steve Letarte said to Dale Jr., "This is our final season together. Let's make it memorable." They already have.
It's awesome, dude. I can't quit watching you right now.
Steve Letarte, his crew chief.
A champion of the Daytona 500.
I've said it, and I've said it, and I've said it. Those 2 guys are going to do a lot of good things this year together because they know what it means.
But Dale Earnhardt Jr. has gone winless in 4 of the last 5 years. Won't be able to say that about 2014.
Or keep counting his runner-up finishes in the 500 because
that 88
back
car,
to victory lane.
That thing could get out front, and he could just go from one side to the other. I mean, he was just had a fast car at the end of the day.
I believe Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s got a little celebration planned here.
See what he's going to do. Not a whole lot he can do right now. The whole front straightaway is full of wrecked cars.
He is saluting the fans and coming all the way down the front stretch, reminiscent of when Alan Kulwicki won his first Cup race and did a self-styled, as Kulwicki called it, Polish victory lap. It's the wrong way around, but it puts your face right in front of the fans where he can look them in the eye and hear them cheer.
You know what I love? I mean, to see Dale Jr. that excited, to see him just pumped, man, about winning that race, and he should be, but look at him. He's like a little kid in there.
Yeah, I don't know
enjoying
if I've
every minute of it.
seen him that pumped up.
No, I haven't either, Larry. It's just so good. Look at him. He's going to jump out of that thing. He's going to be up on the side of the door there in a minute like his dad used to do.
And he's about to be a 40-year-old little kid, but I guess there's a little kid in all of us, Darrell, especially when you win the 500.
I never think about him being old. I still think about him being Junebug.
11-time NASCAR's most popular driver, and that is voted by the fans.
And Dale Jr. captures the flag at the start-finish line and begins to head toward victory lane.
They are going to have some kind of celebration back at the old Hendrick Motorsports shop, probably over at Whiskey River, have a little special night or something. This could be big.
And Phoenix better put more grandstands.
Yeehaw.
Car owner Rick Hendrick headed for victory lane yet again. He won last year with Jimmy Johnson. He wins this year with Dale Earnhardt Jr. On the way to the finish, we knew it'd be a wild one. And here it is. Harvick up into Kyle Busch and Jamie McMurray and Reed Sorensen. Busch around, makes further contact. Cars pile up, and more are on the way. That's why the caution waves with the checker. And it's Dale Earnhardt Jr. capturing the Daytona 500. There's his sister, brother-in-law L.W. Miller, and crew chief Steve Letarte with the biggest fist pump of all, aside from this one.
They won yesterday. They won today.
Jr. His second Daytona 500 victory. There's owner Rick Hendrick celebrating, hitching a ride with the 88 car. There's Chad Knaus congratulating Jr. his first win in his last 56 races. The return of the 3 car that his father made so famous. Dale Earnhardt Jr. with a victory at the Daytona 500. Matt Yoakum is there for the celebration.
And the biggest hug to Steve Berg, the gentleman at Hendrick Motorsports that works entirely on the restrictor plate super speedway program. Dale Jr. 10 years ago celebrated out in the grass here at the Daytona International Speedway, his first 500 win. And a hug with the big man himself, owner Rick Hendrick. Dale, does your second Daytona 500 win take on even greater significance considering the journey you've traveled over the past 6 years?
Yeah, I think so. Man, this winning this race is the greatest feeling that you can feel in this sport. And aside from obviously accepting the trophy for the championship, I didn't know if I'd ever get a chance to feel that again, and it feels just as good, if not better than the first, because of how hard we tried year after year after year, running second all them years, wondering why and what we needed to do. And I got to get my head together. I got to thank National Guard, Diet Mountain Dew, all our sponsors, Kelly Blue Book, Chevy and Sprint, and my team. This race car was awesome. We showed them there all night long how good a car we had, and it's because these guys right here putting it together in the shop, man. That thing would do anything. We could fight off battles after battles, and we got a little help at the end from Jeff to get away on that restart and just sort of try to take care of it from there. It was, this is amazing. I can't believe this is happening. I'll never take this for granted, man, because this just doesn't happen twice, let alone once. So just real thankful. Thanks to all my fans out there for supporting us. We pretty much might be in the chase. Ain't gotta worry about that. Get that off our chest, and we're 2-time Daytona 500 champion.
You've told me several times you cannot put into words and measure what Steve Letarte has meant to you and your career. Did he resurrect it?
Surely. Him and all these guys, you know, you got to give. He builds a great crew. These guys are so talented. So obviously, Steve knows what he's doing. Put a lot of good people around us to make us successful. They put a lot into this car, you know, all winter long. This thing's got 11 coats of clear coat on it, on top of the decal. They clear coat it, then decal it, and then clear coat it. Sand it, clear coat it, sand it, and clear coat it. I mean, that's just part of the effort that goes into this car to make it what it is. And I mean, the whole series is that dedicated and devoted, but the man hours and the time and sweat and blood these guys put into these things, man, it's so rewarding to be able to take it to victory lane for them.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Chris?
Well, up to this point, it had been Denny Hamlin's Speed Weeks. You come away second in the Daytona 500. A lot of people would say, hey, I'll take it. But after the week you've had, do you leave here disappointed?
Well, there's a lot to be disappointed about, but there's a lot to be happy about. After we came back from the rain, my radios weren't working, so I had to wing it those last 150 laps on my own. And with that, with not having a spotter there on that last green-white checkered, I didn't know whether to back up more. You know, he gives vital information for you to get runs, and so that's why we kind of lost our luster after we came back after the rain. But it was just me trying not to wreck anyone, trying not to get in any trouble, trying to spot all 6 corners by myself. But it's still a great run, but I am a little disappointed.
Wow, flying blind at Daytona, now that's an achievement.
Well, Brad Keselowski, you had a great race car. Tell us about the battle at the very end of this Daytona 500.
It was good. It was real good. Just came up a bit short with the Miller Lite Ford. Really, really fast car, like you said, and it was a lot of fun to race. But got to lead, led some laps, did everything I could to stay up there. And, you know, the last restart was just crazy. And I had the 18-11 behind me. They were giving me a good job pushing into 3. And honestly thought we were going to win right then, going into 3 with the run we had. But the 18-11 got separated, and that just stalled my run. And I couldn't get any help from behind for the next lap and a half. So that was all she wrote.
So in other words, it sounds like there wasn't much else you could have done.
You know, there's always something more you can do. You just got to try and figure it out. But I didn't see it, that's for sure.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
And when you look at Steve Letarte's racing resume, you'll see that he spent a lot of time here in Daytona Victory Lane with Jeff Gordon as a crew member. And Stevie, your first 500 win as a crew chief. Can you even put into words what this means for you and your family?
No, this is the one. You know, it's really everybody at the shop. You work all winter long to come down here with your best equipment, and they built a great race car, and everybody worked real hard. Dale drove a great race, but if you're going to win one, this is the one you want to win. I'm glad he knew I really ready to win this one, and Dale drove a great race. Nothing better I can think of in the world than give Mr. Hendrick another 500 win in the last year.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Chris?
A 10-hour day for drivers and worth the wait for Dale Earnhardt Jr., his crew chief. There's Chad Knaus, Jimmy Johnson's crew chief with Steve Letarte. Junior Nation loyally supporting their driver who's in victory lane in the 56th running of the Great American Race.